Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we got Mr. Isaac Peralez. What did you get? Top 16? What's up?
I got 13th at the Lubbock Reginal this past weekend.
Okay, what did you play today? Or that weekend?
The most original deck, Tier Elements.
Okay. So we're going to bust it down. Let's take a look at what you got.
The best part of the deck, my Ishizu package, the shufflers. Hands down, the best part of the entire deck. This is probably going to get banned just because interactions on your opponent's turn, taking away their grave resources is pretty strong. My millers, just 3, and then 1 Agito. I thought about bumping this to 3 just because I like the interactions with my opponent, and milling an extra 5 cards on top of the Kelbeck, plus the Kelbeck mill Agito special 1. It's pretty strong. It's a free dweller or free XYZ if you're not playing the mirror.
What's the only reason why you didn't play more Agito? Just bricks?
It's not that it bricks. I mean, it's still a body, and then if you have the Tier Element Shaylin, you can pitch it, mill 5. But I just like the ratios. I thought about it. Somebody was trying to put me on 2, told me I was bad for playing it at 1. But I was like, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just the ratios kind of helped me out throughout the matches. Playing 8 rounds consistently, kind of, it performed the way it did, much as I was expecting. It wasn't going to overperform like everyone wanted it to, but it didn't underperform either. The 1 orange light didn't come up. Hated it every single time it got milled because it always got bestialed, and it resulted in a free Magnum that was used against me later on. Now for the other part of the deck, my tier core, everything's pretty standard. Max out on 3 names besides the Rhino Heart. I kind of just learned to play around bestials, stop normal summoning this, just to give you more chances of hitting names, and then just play through if your opponent opens a bestial or 2, since bestials are just so powerful this format, just because this deck is so relevant. If you just normal summon this, and you're basically just praying on a hope, wishing a prayer that they don't bestial you. For my bestial lineup, 3 Magnemuts, 3 Druid, and then 1 Sorenir. We play the 1 Sorenir just because it's the extra name to search off of Magnemut. This card was pretty much, I wouldn't say glued to my hand, but I mean, I saw it a lot. I hated this card, believe it or not. I opened it probably like 2 or 3 times throughout the entire event, but everybody tried darking taking it, and I had to waste a shuffler, I didn't want them to kind of get an extra body and then follow up and then another disruption at the end phase. So it's just, I wanted to cut it so much, but at the same point, it's like when I was anticipating playing the mirror, I wanted to have more interactions and then have the disruptions for them, which ended up being where, I mean, I opened roughly like 2 names, which was pretty nice. And then for the spells, I play Planet, 2 Scream. I thought about cutting this to 1, but I mean, you want the overall turn 1, you want to go ahead and mill, and then you want to mill this just so you can grab the trap if you don't already had it. Nice interactions, just when you shuffle back your monsters, Planet, target, pop, search the trap anyways if you didn't already get it. Which is pretty nice. The reason why I don't play 2 Agito is because I'm playing 2 Super Poly. Card came up a lot. Didn't think I would come up as much. Played around Imperm, played around, what else played around? Played around the targets, the trap card, that would target. Played around that. It was pretty nice, just to be able to get my names engraved and trigger them.
It never backfired in any matchups?
Not really. I did it once against a tier player. It worked out pretty well because he was under Dweller, so it didn't matter. I just needed to kind of avoid his trap card off the instant fusion, and then just kind of fusion it away. We played the 1-ofs. Saw this all the time. This was kind of a crazy top deck a couple of times when I was just on no cards. and then I just top decked this. Opponent was just like, all right, you got it. And then last, 2 traps, 2 Issac. I had one person trying to convince me just to play the 1 crime. 1 crime's good, 1 crime's good. It wasn't really. I didn't see any evenly, and the one time I did, it's like he bestialed me in battle, so that evenly was kind of dead anyways. So yeah, I mean, shout out to the guy that told me to play the 1 crime, because it was gonna come up. It never came up. Then for the extra deck,
That was a 40 card deck. Right?
40 card, perfect 40.
Oh, okay.
Hot take, play 2 kits. I was mostly afraid of cash going into the event, just because I kind of find myself always having a bad matchup with cashier, just because automatic Diablos, the let me rip a card out of your extra deck, or the unicorn, let me rip a card out of your extra deck, was just too strong. And the fact is, like, just ripping one out, kind of, I had to play weird a little bit. But the second one never came up. At some point I wanted it to be a redoer, because I'm not playing a redoer, and you'll see that later. But other than that, I mean, I didn't have many problems. The one Rukalos came up a little bit. It was kind of a hidden matchup, signed by the greatest to ever play the deck. Shout out David. Top 3 at Fort Worth. Let's go. But it was kind of a hidden matchup between, like, using this or Draco Sepelia, just because sometimes I just wanted to negate the monster on field, and then Draco Sepelia was a lot stronger against sprites, just because you give them counter. It's level 1 now. They can't special summon from hands anymore. And then Kaleido Heart, it's kind of semi-standard, just except for 1 kit. The rest of the fusions, Mud Dragon, Draco Sepelia, Garura. I think this was probably my most made one, besides Draco Sepelia. I always make this one first fusion if I could, just because the targeting effect is so powerful. I think a lot of people that play this deck don't understand the fact is, like, the targeting effect is so strong. Next format, like, I'll still play this and hope that it doesn't get banned, or hope that it doesn't get ripped out of my extra deck, if they're good cash players. But for the most part, I think, like, all the good tier players realize, like, you kind of want to make this before you start going to fusions, just to kind of call dark, and that way they don't kind of target any of your stuff, or it's good against cash to where they can't fan mirror, target, banish, or anything like that. For the XYZs, Bagushka, Dweller, Beatrice, and Zeus. Honestly, Zeus came up probably like once. Bagushka came up maybe like once. I honestly love the Beatrice. The effect to dump was just too strong for me. And then the crazy combo with I had this and Sprint a lot, so the secret effect from Sprint was detached and bounced, so which was pretty nice. And then here for the links, the sprite links, Garura plus Merly, crazy with this. If you don't manage to get to a name, you just kind of, when in doubt, make Sprint, just to guarantee a fusion. And then Dark, pretty standard. And then one thing I did play, which was a little bit out of the ordinary, was the one Goddess. Goddess was really good just because of Sprite does put up Avermax, which tier does have a problem with outing sometimes. So I think this was kind of a nice, even though I never resolved it, but I didn't let the Sprite player get that far to Avermax me. And then the side deck.
All right.
Got 2 Bell. I sided this in pretty much all weekend just because it was good offensively and defensively. It was good against the Mirror when he tried to bestial me on my turn, or on his turn actually, just because I was just trying to fuse. It actually let me play the game more on his turn than anything, which actually worked out. the best card that I played all weekend, the 2 talents. I reserved this card at least 5-6 times. Going second, this card was just too strong. Every time I saw this, I was waiting. I play 2 Dark Ruler. 2 Dark Ruler just because I anticipated a lot of Sprite. Double Toad is pretty strong. It's kind of hard to out if you don't open a lot properly or open too much to where you can push through that board and beat Double Toad with the trap. I think this is just the best way to go. And then when you play a random rogue deck that puts up, just if you don't have the interaction, it puts up this crazy board. Dark Ruler is the one that'll let you play. I played set rotation.
Oh, okay.
And I played set rotation for Zombie World.
For them pesky flute pairs, huh?
Yes, for flute. I didn't play a single flute player.
Wow.
I was going to play a flute player, then they got a repair. So I don't know if that was like the blessing in disguise, but I did play against a Sword Soul player. I did drop Banshee on him. The idea with this, I saw it. I forgot who I saw this with. But I saw it, and the main purpose when he was explaining it was you can avoid evenly because you give them a field spell, and then you give yourself planet, and they can't evenly you at that point because they control the card. So I thought that was kind of pretty nice if I didn't see crime. 1 Twister, 1 Heartbeat, just because some back row if I play rogue. But not too much. I mean, this came up once just because I searched it. Never saw it. The 1 extra Super Poly, just because I had 1 X spot for in the side. Didn't really come up as much. Could have used it for something else. The 1 Crime, just in case if you're going first, just to kind of not get blown up by evenly. And then the time code.
Okay. Alrighty, sir. Do you remember your matchups throughout the entire day?
I played 3 Sprite. I played 1 Tier. Played 1 Plunder. I played a Bestial Dragon Link. That dude opened insane. I remember I saw him open 3 Bestials against me, and at that point, like I could have sent it on Dweller because I thought he was playing branded, just because I saw him earlier that morning with branded cards in his hand. So I just assumed he was playing branded. That was probably my fault for assuming. And then all I saw was Chaos Space Pitch, and I was like, at that point, I was like, oh, I just lost.
Was that your only loss?
I lost to that Dragon Link player just because that man opened crazy, and then I lost to Adventure Cashier. I mean.
Spanish top deck.
Yeah, I mean, it was just Shifter, and then DeFi, and then Regek. There's not much I could do on that one. After that, just kind of, other than that, my matchups were pretty straightforward. I was expecting a lot of Sprite, which I did play more Sprite than anything. I did have like 1 Rogue, and he was playing Synchrons. And then I just saw that man just activate Upstart Goblin, and then he just looked at his hand. And he's like, "No, I can't play to your boy." So that was an interesting round. But other than that, it was just as much of a grind. I think the hardest one was probably the Sprite player that played round 8, because he really wanted that. He wanted to win in to get that top. Just talents throw me the game.
All right, you have 2 invitations to the next, World Qualifiers? Something like that? All right, sir. We expect to see you there. I don't know what team you're representing or what, but we'll see.
Stay tuned. I ain't saying much on that, but stay tuned.
All right. And do you have any shout-outs before we end it off?
Shout out to Team Geeked Out. I spent the whole weekend with them. We play tested a lot. Shout out to David. Did a lot of testing with David and Raph, especially. Shout out to Ghost in His Own for being the biggest hater in the Discord. Man's always talking that talk. Just shout out to all the homies that test. Shout out to all the locals, Game House, Shan's, wherever we play test at. And then the late nights at McDonald's, we play test there too.
Alrighty, sir. Well, Good luck on your future tourneys whenever you play again, and we'll catch you next time. See you guys.